I swear, bro. KI gonna have to take an L on this one, bro. No, I was not expecting them to drop the test realm, especially this late. I mean, earlier today we thought there's gonna be no test realm today, and then they shadow dropped it. So, yeah, here we go, man. And on a double header for Monday Night Football. Let me get out of Discord though, so you don't get the notification sound. Okay, so yeah, we have the test run. We're already off to a bad start, by the way, because again, you interrupt my precious football time. But we're gonna read these patch notes. So this is the Darkmoor test round 2025 patch notes. I'll probably be excited as I read on. It's funny. I was waiting all the month for this. Let's just jump right into it. The future is dark. Something lurks around every corner in the grim, shadowy world of Darkmoor. Gargoyles patrol over the streets of Graveholm, and yellow eyes will watch you from the cover of dense forest in the howling lands. The great houses will look down upon you and assess you. There are few places in Darkmoor in which a human can feel safe. So what could have possibly led you here? To accompany the dark aesthetic of this long awaited world, Shadow Magic is also receiving a major overhaul in this update to strengthen its lore connections and add strategic depth to how you can use it in combat. Start building up your knowledge of shadow creatures, shadow packs, and shadow spell enhancements below. Please note, this is test realm. Do not expect everything to work properly. We already know that. Blah, 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 blah. New World Darkmoor. That's the Darkmoor teaser we already know about. You've had many things about this hauntingly beautiful world on your journey thus far, Wizard, yet you've seen very little. It's time to finally step into the fog and experience the darkness yourself. The houses of swords, cups, coins, and wands look over these lands with keen eyes, divided amongst themselves. These monsters are all bound by a curse that was unleashed onto the occupants of Darkmoor many moons ago. Though, if you ask, some might say it was a blessing. And it's into this dark world. A terrible villain has fled. You must dive into every shadow, search every dungeon, and brave this front of evil to uncover her and a plot that will shake the spiral. But I'm sure you'll figure it out, whiz kid. A note on music. The music currently in Darkmoor Test Realm is all placeholder. You'll likely recognize familiar tunes, which will be replaced with the true music of the zones of Darkmoor soon. Okay. And this is learn more about Darkmoor here. All right. Wait, is this like the common area right here? Ooh, it's like a little campfire. Okay. Dude, this world looks sick, dude. Look at the streets. Oh, dude, this is gonna be so much fun. Photomancy improvements. Smile and say cheese to these new Photomancy improvements. When taking a photo for a quest, you no longer need to save it in your hard drive. Thank goodness. You can adjust the setting using the save photos and don't save the photos toggle. If you choose to save photos each time you take one, you'll be prompted to keep picture or trash picture. Only keep picture will save the image to your hard drive. Photos now appear in the confirmation frame after being taken. Press escape to cancel Photomancy, and a new lens filters button has been added, allowing you to apply different color effects. Ooh, new filters. Okay. Wait, new dark mode. Wait, are these new? Whoa, wait. Yo, wait. Whoa, these are new dark mode spells, guys. Yo, is the life one? Wait, these are all 10 pips? Whoa, okay. Whoa. This is insane. Wait a second. Oh my god, Nicole would love this update. These cards are all the spell names or the names of the tarot card decks. Wait a second. The Hierophant, the Emperor, the Chariot, Wheel of Fortune, the World, Mortality, the Tower. Okay, this is sick. Dude, this is sick. Each school gets a brand new spell for 10 pips themed around Darkmoor. The spells are granted through the individual spell quests unlocked through the story. Each spell has two versions. The top path will be big damage hit with two hanging effects, and the bottom path and a powerful conditional. Additionally, each spell will have a fusion formula in order to make a shadow enhanced version of its spell. Oh, it's going to have a shadow effect. Okay. See if the Shadow Pact section below for more details. Shadow Pact. Dive into the shadows like never before. The Shadow Magic system gets a thrilling revamp, with packs replacing the old magic spell mechanics while staying true to the dark mystical lore of Shadow Magic. This new system emphasizes risky high reward gameplay by forging temporary alliances with shadow creatures to amplify your spells, but beware, failing to meet their demands comes with a price. A brand new tutorial in Eclipse Tower Chrysalis will guide you through mastering the shadowy powers. All shadow spells and key battles now embrace packs. Interesting. This is really interesting. So note that players testing the new Shadow Magic may encounter blocking bugs in the tutorial. If this happens, please use the skip tutorial button to continue. Okay. Core features: casting a Shadow Pact. When you cast a Shadow Pact, a shadow creature lingers behind your wizard, expecting payment. It then places a contract hanging effect on the target, enemy, or self. The contract displays an icon specific to the pack type, like a shield for helpful ward packs or a damage over time symbol for dot packs, along with the hover text showing the caster's slot icon. The effect. Wait, sorry, I had a text on my. The effect it consumes in the rounds remaining. Wait, this is so cool. For selected target spells. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Please get him. Alright. Select the target spells. The contract applies to the first target spell, marked by the pack icon in the targeting UI. Consuming effects at the start of the turn before the dot, the HOT text, the shadow creature attempts to consume one instance of the pack's required effect from the contract target. If successful, the creature is appeased and does not grow. Growth and backlash. So if your required effort isn't available, the creature grows one level per round up to 4. Wait, what? When the pact ends, it collapses, dealing backlash damage to you. 0% at level 1, 5% per level above 1 for levels 2 to 4. Replacing a pact early triggers maximum backlash? What? Wait, replacing a pact early triggers maximum backlash, levels above 1 plus rounds remaining, times 5%. If combat ends, backlash resolves the same way. Ooh, gee, wait. So if you do it replacing a pact early. Ooh, wait a second. Ooh, I'll have to test it out and test around. That's kind of risky, dude. Woo! That's interesting. Shadow Pack's onboarding following the default in the Eclipse Tower. Sophia Darkside now offers a more in-depth look at Shadow Magic and communing with Shadow creatures, completing Shadow Dancer. On the Chrysalis mainline will begin Shadows and Don'ts to learn about forming packs with Shadow creatures. Following this quest, players will be able to train the Shadow transformation spells and speak to Shadow creatures about fusing Shadow spells. Wizards who have previously completed Shadow Dancer will be able to return to the Eclipse Tower for those same teachings. At the conclusion of the Shadow creatures will appear in Eclipse Tower to offer Shadow fusions. Additional quest changes to support packs onboarding. Wizards will now earn the transformation spells of the shadow creature associated with their school at the end of the pack's tutorial quest and can return to Sophia Darkside in the Eclipse Tower to train others for training points. Wizards will now earn the attack spell of the shadow creature associated with their school at the end of the higher learning and can return to Elena Darksun in the Solar Arc to train others for training points. Okay. Velma von Veckman's quest, Shadow Tricks, will no longer reward the spell Shadow Trickster because it's now a trained balance. Wizards are offered for a training point by Sophia Darkside. Okay. The spell Dark Pact has been renamed Dark Tribute to not confuse with Shadow Magic Tutorial tips will remind players to return to the Eclipse Tower to learn packs. There will be a portal in the Arcanum's Hall of Shadow of the Shadow. Ooh, to the Shadow creatures for spell training. Okay, cool. Spell and combat changes. This is the big one. All shadow spells have been updated to use packs, and there are now 7 shadow creatures as well as 7 shadow transformations. Give me a second. You know what? No, I'll just go real quick. Just read that. Just read that. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, I gotta go back here. Okay. So this is talking about all the spell and combat changes. So 7 shadow transformations in total, right? So there's going to be 7 shadow creatures and 7 shadow transformations. So shadow enhanced spells no longer require shadow pips for their base versions, letting you cast them anytime. Use spell fusions to combine these based with shadow creature spell, creating a new powerful shadow enhanced spell tied to the pack. Check the spell changes section for full details. Completing the new Shadow Pack's onboarding quest to unlock Shadow Fusion training in the Eclipse Tower. Key combats like the Morganth rematch and General Lightbane have been updated to incorporate Shadow Packs, ensuring a consistent and engaging experience across all Shadow Magic encounters. The combats are not ready yet, but will be available for testing in a later patch, so stay tuned for updates. Guild improvements! Guild improvements! What, updating the guild? Wow, really? Guild leaders have shared many great ideas to improve guilds, and this update includes several of their suggestions. Alright, I'm listening. Let's see what this is about. The number of players required to create a guild has been reduced. Oh, wow. That is huge. From 12 to 8. That is actually insane. Wow. That is insane. Wow. That is really good. Wow. When creating a guild, if your chosen name is already taken, a Roman numeral will be added to make it unique. You'll now see a preview of that numeral before finalizing your guild name. That is cool. When renaming a guild, you'll also see a preview of the Roman numeral that will be applied. That is so cool. When creating or renaming a guild, there's now an option to reuse a name that another guild has discarded. Okay. Friends who are also in your guild no longer count towards your maximum friends limit. Wait. Friends who are also in your guild no longer count towards your. What? Okay, whoa. Wait. Let me read this again, Mr. Court and everybody else. Wait. Friends who are also in your guild no longer count towards your maximum friends total. Am I reading that correctly? A new guild. Yo, okay, wait. This might actually be one of the best Wizard101 updates they've had in a very. Wait, hold up. This is. Yo. Okay. Let me calm down. A new guild role has been added. The lieutenant. Dude, wasn't I just talking about lieutenant? The lieutenants have all the power of a guild leader except for the renaming the guild or removing the guild leader. Guild leaders and lieutenants can now award guild badges. Badges are available for decorating the guild house, being a helpful member, assisting with raids, and contributing to museum galleries. Each badge type has 3 levels. Note, leveling a guild removes all earned guild badges. Oh, no, it says leaving a guild removes all earned guild badges. Yo, this is... Wait a second. Dude. Ooh, as soon as I was getting into the rating and stuff like that, oh man, wow, dude, where was this years ago? There's no way this is real. I don't believe it to myself. You can now sort the guild roster by last login for all characters on the same account and search the roster. When removing a member, the removal window will use the same sorted order. Nice. When a player hasn't logged in for a while, a ZZ icon will appear next to their name. We know that. The status is tracked per account for all characters that player has in the same guild. Dude, this is actually insane, dude. This is nuts. This is such a nutty update. Radial wheel. Emoting is now easier than ever. The radial wheel has been upgraded with smoother controls, faster access, and expanded functionality. The radial wheel now supports menu chat phrases. That's nice. Players can now create up to 3 custom tabs, which can include either emotes or menu chat options. Added new cut, copy, paste, and clear functions to make customizing your radial wheel easier than ever. Added new cut and copy paste clear functions to make customizing your radio. Wow, this is really cool. Bug fixes. You can once again access the treasure card section of the bazaar from Harold Augustin's shop, which I don't know why they removed that, but that was a whole thing with the bazaar and all that stuff. We fixed the issue where the visit another castle button on castle tours kept switching to raiding maze houses. We fixed the issue where team up doesn't always cancel the timer when a player leaves the team and it dropped below team size. We fix the issue in the team up kiosk window where sometimes the tab and what teams are displayed can be mismatched. We changed the references in the Magic Mirror shop from gender to style. Okay. It's funny. It's interesting because on console, this is quite the polar opposite. So instead, like when remember when we talked about this way before. They changed the whole character create thing to gender the style. So now you can do like style A and style B. And on console, though, when you create character, they just still have the OG one of girl and boy and stuff like that. So I'm curious if they're going to apply this to console or if it's not really on the radar. But that's really interesting. So on the jewel page of the bank, you can now use filter. Wait, what? On the jewel page of the bank, you can now use filters. Okay, that's nice. You may now skip all tutorials via button on the first dialogue line. Thank goodness. We fixed the issue where wallpaper and title or tile on Regal Castle blocks didn't appear correctly if the wallpaper or tile was also used on the walls or floors of the house. The brightness model in advanced housing was adjusted to work with more objects. Long instances once again count in team up as a previous page arrow has been added to the team up kiosk. More Sandy Skeletal Warrior hatching options are now working as intended. Thank goodness. Fix a missing string in the crown shop. School teleporters now have collect preview games. Spell changes. Oh, whoa! They're giving us the whole thing. Wow, this is the first time we've seen this in a long time. Usually they like to be all cryptic, be like, oh, figure it out yourself. But yeah, they're finally giving us a whole list of spell changes. This is awesome. So below is the full change log for all the spells in this update. In addition to all these spell changes, all the Wallaroo can now be upgraded to tier 5 and sell not the spells at tier 4? Yo, wait, this is sick. Click on the school icon to expand and view the school's full list of spell changes within each school. Click on the name. Spell will reveal its specific adjustments, including pip cost, previous effects, and now new effects. You can collapse shadow spell guide, explore new vamped shadow spells, and all that stuff. Oh, dude, this is cool. This is so cool. They show you the whole thing. We're not going to take too long on this section, though, because I know it can be a mind bog for a lot of people. Yeah, this is insane. So the previous was plus 60% critical for a Shadow Trickster and for 3 rounds. Yeah, we're not going to go all over this. There's going to be a lot. The Dark Sentinel got buffed, dude. Oh wait, that's the shadow creature one. We need to go to the shadow transformation one. When I see Sentinel. Yeah, dude, look at this. So the previous Shadow Sentinel, see, this is what I was talking about, Shadow Sentinel. So the previous Shadow Sentinel was a plus 80% block, then minus 10% incoming damage, and then 25 intercept for 3 rounds, right? And I said that the 25 intercept just, it felt low, and you didn't really, it wasn't really saving a life. But now the new one is going to give you an ice pip. You're going to take even less incoming damage, and you get to intercept even more damage from all of your allies. So that makes Shadow Sentinel a very versatile spell. I actually highly recommend getting this spell if you are a support wizard, even if you don't feel like you would still use it in general. A minus 50% intercept from all of your allies is absolutely insane. And that's really going to change the way how, at least in my opinion, support players play the game. In my personal opinion, I'm personally hyped about these spells. I know not a lot of people care about these spells. That's why we're not going to take too much time on them. Maybe I'll make a separate video talking about all the spells and stuff like that. But in my personal opinion, I am really, really happy about that. Shadow Seraph over here, that's pretty cool. Yeah, all this stuff is cool. Shadow packs for life. All this stuff. Wings of Fate, Top Path. Yeah, they got all the details here. We'll definitely save that for a different type of whatchamacallit. Wow, they got all this stuff. This is so good. I'm really glad they did this too, because it just shows people they're changing so much with this update. It just kind of gives people like, hey, wait, bottom path, wait. So the previous selected target hots, so 3 times 690, 5 rounds, 227, 270. New selected targeted gives you 950. I don't know if this new rebirth on bottom path is technically a nerf or not. Again, I would have to read. I mean, the universal blade that you get is up to plus 20%, which is good. I would have to read this on a different video. Yeah, this is really cool. Oh, wait, some life weaving spell changes. Oh, storm weaving spell changes. Wow, they really did do a lot. Oh my goodness. They really did do a lot. So that is all of the patch notes. Like I said, that is definitely going to have to wait for a video. But yeah, all of this stuff is cool. And I'm really excited for the... Dude, I mean, I think the one that caught me by surprise is the whole guild improvements thing. Because I really do like raiding. I think when they first introduced guilds and raids, they definitely missed the mark, right? Now this is starting to become a little bit more accessible, and I like that. I love the lieutenant option. That's like a second guild leader role. That is awesome. And also, this is probably one of the biggest things out there, that friends who are also in your guild no longer count towards your like maximum friends limit. Like that right there is absolutely insane. I mean, I hope I'm reading that right, but that is insane. I love that. So yeah, everything about this is like, dude, this update might be one of my favorites in a very long time. These new spells, I am really curious to see. It looks like the life is getting the world a 680 base damage, and then like a bomb, and then you might take some incoming damage. The storm one looks cracked. That's a lot of damage. And then you get a plus 35% and a minus 25 weakness. Interesting. Yeah, these are really cool. All right, I'm gonna get on test realm. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna get this uploaded, and until then, peace out.